All right. Welcome to Super Sunday. Hey, one more Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome from our home office studio. I just want to give you the absolute welcome here. We're going to talk about, we're going to talk about the 8, dangerous traits for an amazing success. So welcome Instagram, welcome Facebook, welcome YouTube. So I'm going to share this, 8 dangerous traits. Go ahead and leave me a message down below on what is it that you take, if you agree or disagree with it. All right. So let's get started. Let's get to the point. Now, for the ones that know me, understand that I invest quite a bit of time, studying the successful people that have developed, traits like the ones that I'm about to share. Now, why is it that they're dangerous? 8 dangerous traits. Well, first and foremost is because if you put them into practice, if you make them into your habit, then I know they're going to be dangerous for you to reach, some great success. But it's going to depend, obviously, at the end, it's going to depend on you. So we're going to go one by one. Leave me a message down below, whether you agree or disagree. Okay. So number 1, trait number 1 is big thinkers. Whoever, if you study them, you'll understand that they're actually thinking huge, thinking big. And you can grab, for instance, Mr. Richard Branson from Virgin or Elon Musk, and you'll study them and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Anything they do, they don't do it locally for their own market where they live or for, the community where they're at. They're actually thinking globally. So they're thinking very, very huge, very big. And I remember, this takes me back when I first started. I wanted to have financial freedom, and it was interesting because when that got achieved, I immediately learned that, I was thinking too small, that I had to obviously develop a bigger thinking method. Well, they're big, huge thinkers, okay? And second dangerous trait is that they're great at selling. They're great sellers, great communicators, great at public speaking, great at communicating, what they need to communicate and articulate. They can sell you, not because they're going to shove it down your throat, but because they're really honestly solving an issue at a global level, okay? And then dangerous trait number 3, it's great at negotiating, And I want to tell you a true story. I read, the book with, I think it was Virgin from, Richard Branson. And it was interesting because he shared there how Virgin Airlines got started. And, he got started from, from a flight that he couldn't, that he got canceled, that he wanted it to obviously make it to his house so that he could be with his wife. And what he did out of that, cancellation, he decided to go and rent a private jet, make up a sign that he had, flights, even though everybody was canceling the flight. He was basically, selling tickets for the private jet, and he oversold it. And that was, how he got back home, but went through a tremendous experience being able to think that now he could build an airline. But let me take you why is it that, great at negotiating, it's a dangerous trait. Let me tell you why. Because big negotiators, what they do is that they negotiate their deals in a favorable way that makes sense to protect the downside. Many think that what, for instance, Richard Branson did was a dangerous move by going into the airline business, at least in the time that he did it. And the interesting thing is he called Boeing and cut a deal, negotiated a deal that he would have, so many planes for 12 months, okay? And he had the ability to return the planes if the business didn't succeed. How about that for a negotiation? And Boeing, being one of the biggest, or the manufacturers, jet manufacturers out there, decided to go ahead and do it. And guess what? That's how Virgin Airlines obviously became to happen. But see, it was in the negotiating that true, in this case, true protection of the downside really happened. The same thing happens in my case in the real estate investing world. Today, I grab a lot of what I've learned from that negotiating aspect that he did, that I do something super similar, but in real estate where, I'm able to get the property, on a creative financing or seller financing where I don't have to pay until that thing sells. And if it never sells, then I don't pay. Now, that's protecting the downside. So, just know and understand that this 8 dangerous traits is going to provide you some heavy success if you put them to practice. Okay. So we're going to go to, fourth dangerous trait here. They're abundant. They're givers. They understand that they first have to give. They first have to lose in order to win afterwards. Let me share a little bit of context about what that is. In other words, we're in an era that if you're starting your business, doesn't matter what type of business, you have to be a giver first. You have to be with an abundant mindset. And what I mean by that is not just thinking, abundant. It's about knowing that. I'll give you an example. When I first started in my second decade as a real estate investor after I went bankrupt, it was interesting because I would have to go out, I would invite real estate agents, real estate investors to drink a cup of coffee or take them out for dinner. And guess what? I was investing time, focus, dedication, money, because I was paying for it. So at the beginning, you're going to have to give, provide, and maybe be in a negative zone for a little bit because you're not making money in that while you're building that relationships, right? Guess what? Because when you give, when you create that expense first, you know that later on is going to pay off. But the interesting thing is that's what I mean by being givers. Now in the information age, what I'm doing on a every daily basis, and even today, Sunday, it's giving. Because believe it or not, at the beginning, you're going to have to do that. People that are thinking, let me first receive, they're in the completely opposite ball game, that they're not going to create disruptive, success for their lives. And that was obviously trait number 4. Let's get started to dangerous trait number 5. They welcome failure all the time. They know that the massive action that they're taking is going to create failure, and that failure is part of the pattern to their success. Okay. Now, are you welcoming failure? I know that every time I get an offer accepted, it's because I had many others that were not accepted. And the same thing where with the marketing that we do, with obviously the reach outs, the follow-ups, and things of that nature. Hey, if you're not failing on a daily basis, either at a small way or at a big way, I know that there's not a lot of movement. Do you agree or disagree so far? With all the 5 traits that I've shared so far, let me know down below. Now let's go to dangerous trait number 6. Okay, they have a clear, definitive of purpose. They know the real reason of the existence of their business. And when you do, you tend to get empowered and grow at a much, not only faster, but much more simpler. You feel yourself much more lighter. You know that when you are on purpose, it doesn't become any more work. It actually becomes a journey that you get to enjoy deeply. Okay. So now let's go to, dangerous trait number 7. Dangerous trait number 7 is they're amazing. They have an amazing work ethic. An amazing work ethic, ladies and gentlemen. And what I mean by that is they're hunting, they're hustling, they're really pumping some heavy working ethic time, even when they're not doing it themselves. Even when they're delegating it to somebody else. So just understand that and know that, so that you can adjust, adapt, and go ahead and create it for yourself. And then dangerous trait number 8. Dangerous trait number 8. They're always learning and growing. They're always learning and growing. They're part of mastermind groups. They're part of organizations that they're always reaching and showing up to people that are playing at a bigger game or the same game that they're playing. They're reading. They're always attending at seminars, events. They're always on learning mode and growing mode. And I can tell you this because I had the honor and great pleasure a few weeks ago being in Florida and having to be able to have personalized time with Mr. Ed Coble, one of the many, I'm sure here in the U.S., multi-billionaires, real estate developer. His family owns the 49ers, and I had the opportunity to be with him at a personal time, learning from him. And I'm talking about one-on-one. And at the same token, being able to get, his personal cell phone number and connect directly. Now, I know this for a fact because I've been studying, obviously, what they do, how they do it, how they think, how they feel. And all I can tell you is these 8 traits are truly dangerous for success if you truly are looking to make him part of your life. Now, it's easier said than done. It takes obviously time. It takes, focus, dedication, and takes effort, right? So it's truly up to you. Leave me a message down below on what is it that you take. Congratulations for being here with me for a few minutes. I want to send you a virtual hug from wherever you are. Happy Sunday. Crush it hugely. Have fun. Enjoy your weekend. And never forget that there's always a better way. There's always more, but truly, it only depends on you. See you next time.